So in part one, we covered basically gamified content, the three types of pillars, how gamified content can basically 5x or 10x your leads, depending on how many social media followers you have. Maybe if you have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, etc. Explained what it is, how it's formatted, basically the effect that it has, the power that it has over regular content, where you become a passive observer, a passive listener, and you basically you get your dopamine hit by purely scrolling, and how most pieces of content are high in scrollability. Right? They're high in scrollability. So the idea is basically that most content doesn't really demand anything of you. You just scroll, you watch, you get your dopamine hit. It's like a slot machine, like a casino. It's meant to be addictive. But with gamified content, what it does, it makes you participate. Like if you want your dopamine hit, you have to actively participate. You have to actively use your brain to get your dopamine hit, right? So one more time, we're gonna go over this one. There's three types of content, and it's kind of a cycle that it goes into. You go to the gamified content, you go to the utility content, and then you go to basically the sales content, we'll call that. So this is the gamified content. Tutorial, move head towards the greenest score, right? And you can play along while you're watching this. Drop your score in the comments, right? Like we already explained in video one, is basically the comment section is basically the lobby, like think the Call of Duty lobby, et cetera, et cetera. So we go, we play, right? I'm moving my head. Remember, I'm not just passively watching anymore. I'm moving my head. I'm participating with the content. I'm actively engaging with the content. This maximizes watch time, right? This makes it so that I'm not just like watching 50%, 60% of the video. I'm watching basically 90% of the video. I'm watching basically all of it, right? Because this is how you kill scrollability. You force the person to use their brain. You force the person to actively participate, turn on their brain, like do something with the content. And then you can see down here, there's the score. You can see the score down here with the content. So as you're going, as you're getting more points, you're seeing your score counter basically go up. Now, this is the maximum amount of points that you can earn. We can't do it separately where it's like the amount of points the person actually earns, because it's a case by case basis. So we did the best that we could. But right, you can go and kind of ended a little quick there, but you can go from anywhere from 0 to 10 points. The less points you score, the more powerful the next piece of content is that I'm going to show you here. This is utility content. Now, this wasn't done as well as it could have been done, but basically the first video is test your ability on how to dodge punches. We don't say that, we just say tutorial and then how to play, and then we get straight to business. This second piece of content, which can be paired with the first piece of content, is basically utility content. So it's like a tool. You use it, right? Like a screwdriver. You can save it, you can share it, you can reuse it, right? You can share it with somebody else who can save it, share it, and reuse it. The algorithm loves this kind of content. So here, basically, this is like you follow the dot to learn how to dodge punches. It trains you how to dodge punches. It trains you to have unpredictable head movement so that you don't easily get hit when you're boxing, when you're punching, right? So this is the kind of content where the person is still actively participating, but there's no incentive, no reward, no 5 points here, 10 points there, drop your score, et cetera, et cetera. Now, this wasn't done too well. We could have done an easy header, title could have been, watch this before sparring, watch this before you train, watch this before your next fight, watch this before the occasion that the person is in their niche. So every boxer, watch it before every training session, every sparring session, every fight. Give reasons for the person to come back to the video, right? Let me see here. And then the analytics for these ones, which are just insane, right? We have 5.2 million views, 3.3 million accounts reached, so over 50%, right? Most people that are interacting are non-followers, which is good. We're always reaching a new audience. Obviously, we haven't captured everybody on Instagram who's into boxing and MMA, but now we're capturing a lot more of that audience. Reels interactions, likes, 102,000, which is great, not that important. Comments, we didn't incentivize engagement on this one. It was just be put out there to be used. Like, hey, here's a training tool. Go ahead, check it out. And again, it's literally the app, but they don't even have to download it. So we're just giving without asking anything before we even ask for anything. We've just been giving free content before we ask for anything, right? Saves, this is the important part. It's a utility. So people save this in their toolbox. Think about the saves they have in their Instagram account. Oh, I can always refer back to this video. They save it in their toolbox, and then they share this tool with other people who can also save it in their toolbox, right? Saves and shares are 100 times more important than likes. And I would say even comments to a degree, but saves and shares are more powerful because again, it's keeping people on the platform, right? Profile activity, follows, right? 6,172. The gamified piece of content that we did here only got 2,630 follows. And again, this is an account with 150,000 followers. This video got almost a little over two times the amount that this one did with half the amount of views. It's more engaging. They want more of this kind of content. They want more of this useful, applicable style of content. But the only reason we got this far is because we had an endless succession of videos that were gamified. We're selling the person on the problem. They figure out for themselves, okay, if they get 10 out of 10, that's cool, that's fine. They're going to play again. We'll make the game a little bit harder. Maybe they get 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10. But then if we show them a solution, they're definitely going to be interested in that. They're going to want to see like, oh, you have more of these videos? Please show us, right? And then the third kind of content in these pillars is a direct, we could say direct marketing video, right? Where we literally tell the person what the app does, who it's for, how to get it. Right? So who's the app for? Beginners. What does it do? Shows you how to dodge punches. Very direct, very to the point.
If you're a beginner, if you want to dodge automatically, if you want to move on instinct, if you're tired of being the punching bag in sparring, then this is for you. Use this before your next sparring session.
Right? So if you're this, if you're that, if you're this, if you're that, this is for you. Right? Very direct. We could say maybe direct response marketing. I don't know if that's the correct term, but very direct, very marketing, literally showing. So the key to win with these kind of videos is a lot. You have to show more than you tell, but when you tell, you really got to tell, right? That's why the catchphrase here is like, don't let a knockout be your wake up call. Like, don't let being put to sleep wake you up to the fact of how important it is to dodge punches. So you have to have the clever wordplay a little bit, but most of it is showing. Right. So this video only got 2,000. This video, we're going to zoom in here. This video only got 278,000 views. Remember, this one got 9 million. This one got 9 million and got 2,630 followers. This video didn't even crack like 750,000. It's not even 500,000. And it got the same, more followers in the 9.2. That's what we mean when we say the gamified content, even though it's the strongest, it's the weakest. The gamified content gets people in the door. But this content, right, over here, the marketing content and the utility content over here, go back to it. This is the house tour. This gets you in the door. This gets people to come into your door. And these videos are the house tour, right? It lets you say, okay, do I want to be in this house? Do I want to bother with this kind of content? Do I want to bother with this? It's like, okay, I like this gamified content, but it's not enough. The gamified content alone isn't enough to get a person to buy. Alone, it's not enough to get a person to buy. It generates a lot more leads, but it must be paired with utility content and marketing content, right? Which also these are both art forms in of themselves. It must be done properly, right? So we're looking at here. We're going to check these analytics one more time. So on this one, comments, again, not even 500,000 views, barely 250,000 views. Comments, 6,747. Comments on this, 5,787. So this one doesn't even have 10% the amount of views that the gamified content one does, but yet it has more comments. All those comments, we said comment app if you want the app, and we used ManyChat to basically respond to it. Right. So even though it's 6,747 comments, we could say about maybe 3,000 of them are us replying, right, to the comments. But even so, if you scaled up the numbers to these, if this had as many views as the gamified content, as this piece of gamified content, it would have way more comments than that one has because the ratio is a lot more tight. Right? People are commenting way more on this one than they are on this one because we've managed to solve a pain point for the viewer. And this one, obviously, we'll see here, not too many comments. We didn't incentivize too many comments, but with the follows, we have 6,172 more follows because we're providing a utility. It comes from the saves and the shares. We're showing new people who follow us or people who use it are sharing it with other people who are in the space, who are in the niche of boxing or MMA, etc. And they're also saving it for themselves, right? So even though this one does the best with views, these actually have a way higher ratio. They have a way better ratio for saves, shares, comments, and follows. But you only get people to watch this kind of content if you get them, if you reel them in, if you hook them with this kind of content. And even if you get them to see the marketing content, it still has to be done well. It can't be 20, it can't be 50 seconds, it can't be 40 seconds, it can't drag on. It has to immediately show and cleverly tell. Immediately show and cleverly tell, which is why we say the very first line, don't let a knockout, don't let being put to sleep in a boxing match be your wake-up call. Understand what this is about before you get knocked out. Understand how important it is to dodge punches so you don't have to get knocked out to learn that lesson. Avoid pain, right? So I think we've done a pretty good job of explaining the power of gamified content, how it works, a little bit psychologically, why it surpasses most kind of content, and its true purpose, which isn't to get you 100x new downloads. It's to get you 100x more leads. And then you lead those people to downloading your app or paying the premium subscription or whatever through a powerful combination of gamified to marketing, or gamified utility, gamified utility, gamified utility, gamified marketing, gamified utility, gamified utility, gamified marketing, gamified utility. You have to mix up your sequence of content posts. You cannot just post gamified a little bit and then go straight to marketing. Like, no, because you don't want your page to look like an ad. That's how people kind of click off. You don't want to do too many CTAs. I would say if you wanted a solid ratio, so Instagram has 9, it goes by rows of 3, right? So 60% should be gamified, but it shouldn't be 6 pieces of content in a row. Like I said, it could be gamified marketing, and then gamified marketing, gamified utility, gamified utility, gamified marketing, gamified, right? You should always start with gamified, in my personal opinion, because the gamified content is what keeps people on the it's what keeps people engaging. It's what keeps people coming back, and it's what keeps people wanting more, right? So let me go here. And like I said, with this kind of content, it's gotten us 846,000 followers on TikTok, and it's gotten us 153,000 followers on Instagram. We used to have more before we started slowing down. At our peak, we had almost 200,000, and we were just getting started, right? We could have posted content like this ad infinitum, right? Nobody was getting tired of this kind of content. So this app is called Arty. Right, as far as I know, this app is called Arty. It's available on the App Store, Apple's App Store, currently, and there's a wait list for Google Play, from what I've seen from the homepage. Essentially, it teaches you how to play piano, right? And I believe you need an actual piano to use it. But we're just going to use this as an example, kind of like a template, like a test to how I would apply gamified content to this, what's doing right, what it could add, how it could improve, etc., etc. It's just a test. I'm not being paid by them to do this video at all. I haven't been employed by them at all. It's just to show you an app that is in a lane that can take full advantage of gamification. That's what we're going to do with Arty right now. Okay, so let's start by reviewing a strong piece of content. Now these are pinned, right? Let's look at this one. 7,217 likes. But how many views does this one have? I don't believe it says. Let me see. I want to see how many views this one did, but it doesn't show. Give me a second. Okay, so this video scored 224,000 views, and it got 7,000 likes and 71 comments. Let's check it out.
E and back to C sharp 4 times. Then move your thumb down to the G sharp. Then thumb down to the F sharp and pinky up to the F sharp. Nice and steady. Then thumb and middle up to A and D. Keep repeating this and add the bass notes on the left. It's simple. But now let's speed it up. questions, tap my icon and ask.
Okay, so let's start with what it did good. So first of all, this is absolutely compatible with interactive playable content. In fact, I would say it's like 60% there. It has the potential to, but it's not maximizing. So in this case, all I would have to do, I'm using my phone essentially to find the video and kind of try to imitate as if I was a user trying to play it. But let me go here. Okay, so I'm playing this on my phone. I'll play it again just so you guys can watch. But essentially, the first things that I'm noticing are, if it was to make this a point system, there's too many points, right? There's too many notes falling down. That'd be number one. Number two, the video is far too long. No Instagram reel should be any more than 25 seconds. It's a general rule of thumb because it takes like an expert, a master of the craft to keep people's attention engaged for more than 25 seconds. Is it possible? Yes, but it is so rare that, most people are just better off sticking to the rule of thumb, nothing longer than 25 seconds, right? Now, it's not necessarily framed as a game, but it is interactive. As you can see here, this user is asking the name of the game, so it has gamification elements. But as I said, there's too many points to score, right? There's too many notes to hit. If I were to recreate this exact thing, I would do maybe one or two notes. So as you can see here, we're going to pause the video if we can. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 potential notes. So there's 4 options to score. As we showed you with the dodge the punch videos over here, there's here, let me see. So with the dodge the punch videos, there's only 3 areas or 3 options to score: column A, column B, column C. But if we were to remake it the way the other user for Artie had done it, there would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. So imagine this with 6 columns, right? It would be very hard to, like, how do I know if I'm in the left column or the middle column or the right? So you would want to simplify it a little bit more. Now, maybe they're not intending to make it gamified, whatever, but it does have gamification elements. But like I said before, 1, shorten the length of the video. Number 2, make it so that there's less notes. It's easier for the person to count, like track their score to see how well they're doing and to see how many points are available to score. And obviously they don't have like a score counter like 0 out of 10, 0 out of 20, 0 out of whatever. The rule of thumb is maximum like 10 notes. And there's also, even though there's like win conditions, like for example, I could say how many notes can you get, there's not necessarily like a lose condition, like a false note, or maybe like you grab the wrong note or something. With this one, it's very easy to say, okay, go here or here, you score a point. Go here, you lose a point. And I punch slow enough to allow the person to keep track of their score while also providing a score tracker at the bottom of the screen. Now, this is why I say that it's basically 50 or 60% there as opposed to 100, because it has the template. You have an interactive element. Like I am playing this on my phone. I can play it on my phone, but there's no way to know my score. There's too many options to score. There's too many points coming at me, and the video is just essentially too long. It shouldn't be longer than maybe 30 seconds. And even in those 30 seconds, the first 5 to 10 seconds should be tutorial, how to play, how to score, drop your score at the bottom, right? So let me go here. Now, even in spite of this person has already accrued over 2,300 followers, all organic, I'm assuming all organic. And again, like I said, they have the template to succeed using gamified content. This could easily eclipse 50,000, 100,000. And speaking from experience, it could easily eclipse 100,000 followers. Like I was saying, followers isn't that important, but just for a metric, we've had a month where we did basically 9.7. We didn't reach 10 million, but 9.7 monthly views. And that's for something a little more kinesthetic, right? Something a little more physical. Something easy like this where the player could just literally sit down and they can just tap the buttons. They can just tap the buttons on the phone. It has so much more potential to just go so much higher. And there's way more people who want to learn piano and music than who want to learn how to box or do racing and military FPS. So this has potential to go to 100,000, maybe 200,000. Who knows? The sky's the limit with this one. Now, this is excellent because they're doing display, not necessarily marketing, but it's like, here's how the app works. So the same thing with us. we did this one, right? App for beginners, how to dodge punches. And then we show the app in action. We show how it looks if you're using the app, right? So with this one, right, we're going to go here. How many views did this one get? Let me see how many views this one get. Give me a second. So this one got 166,000 views, about 43 comments or so. Song name. This one's in another language. How do you connect it? What is the name of the app? How I installed it, and half of the songs need premium, and how does it? Okay, so this app is really good. I tried it. Okay, so it's getting some positive friction. I mean, it's getting some positive engagement. The only friction is that it appears that you need a piano to use it. I don't think you necessarily, I think you should be able to use it without a piano. Again, I haven't necessarily tried it myself. I'm just stumbling upon it. I'm looking at it from a beginner's perspective, but if I'm seeing it, it kind of implies that you need a piano to use it, but I'm sure there's a way to use it without it. But either way, this is kind of their version of the marketing videos that I had said before, where it's basically, this is the video that people watch, that it displays the app, but it also needs to explain why you should get this app, why you should spend your money on it, etc., etc. There's not too much wordplay on this. This is what we call all show, no tell, right? All show, basically, no tell. Give me a sec here. Right, so this basically has all demonstration. It shows you how it works, but it doesn't have necessarily the clever wordplay. The reason this other video here was successful, let me see. The reason this other video here was successful is because we had that marketing, that wordplay. Don't let a knockout be your wake-up call, like that clever little wordplay that keeps people on the app. Now, obviously, you want to use trending sounds, but this is already like a musically oriented video, so you don't need to necessarily attach a relevant sound to do it. You just have to show how the app works using trending or popular music. The music doesn't make the video popular. The video uses the music to make itself better, if that makes sense. The music doesn't make the video makes the music, right? So if we go back here, let's watch it again. Let's see if I can go here. So if I had to retitle this video as like, hey, have you heard that one song off TikTok? Here's how it goes on the piano. I would be using trending TikTok sounds. I would be using trending music, trending audios in general, and just explaining how it works. Now, you might run into copyright issues. I don't know if you can use that with a professional or business account. I don't know if he has a purely organic account. If you have a purely organic account, or maybe if you have a creator account, if you have a purely organic account, I don't think you can see insights. Like, I don't think, like, for example, we can go to our video here and then view insights. We have a business account. You need to be public. You need to be, et cetera, et cetera. But with his account, I don't know if it's a business account or if we can't see his analytics, obviously. But I don't know if you can use trending sounds like this with a business account. But if I were this person, I would be immediately going on every popular TikTok trending audio, trending sound, and be like, hey, remember that TikTok, like right up here? I would be like, hey, remember that TikTok song that was trending in 2024? And then here's how to play it on the piano. Or remember that TikTok song that was trending during 2020? Here's how to play it here. I would use all trending sounds that I could find. I'm sure he has other sounds that could be that he's used that are trending. I'm sure he already has a grasp on that. But the thing is, it's just like, the frequency of posting, if he were to 5x it, that's one thing. If he were to make it more relatable, that would be another way to basically surge, and then if you had made more interactive gamified content that has win conditions and lose conditions, like I said here, you go to the red, you lose a point. You go to the green, you gain a point. Then, in my opinion, this would just skyrocket his engagement, skyrocket his leads, and then he can just follow up with the content that he's already been making. But he's basically like 60% of the way there. It's extremely compatible. His brand and his app is extremely compatible with gamified interactive content. And this is, like I said, this is one of those things where he could go like. He could easily eclipse 100K, 200K followers. We've almost gotten 100K, 200K, and we were spread out all over the place. We were doing boxing, military, FPS, like all racing kind of content, mostly boxing. But he has one thing. He's focused on it, and it's only this niche. It's like this is the only thing he's going to talk about. It's the only thing he's going to discuss. And so he can swallow up that market share of, you could say, apps that are teaching or apps that are trying to teach or train people how to play piano. You could expand to musical instruments even. I know Duolingo is also doing something like this where you can learn how to play piano, but Duolingo is language first, piano second. They even have like a chess one, but again, that's when you spread out, when you're too spread out like that, that's where you kind of lose a little bit of a power. Like, he could swallow up the market of everybody who wants to learn how to play piano and who has a piano, obviously, by just 10xing, like posting 4 or 5 times more per day. Even the content that he has now, he could just post all this content 4 or 5 more times per day, set up a many chat automation where it's just like comment XYZ, and then it'll automatically comment if they say a certain trigger word, and then it'll funnel them over to either an app. I would use a Discord community or a Telegram. We have about 1,000 or so, 2,000 people in our Telegram and on a Discord waiting for our thing, right? But this person is just already like, he's already got that template. He's already got everything that he needs to essentially just skyrocket. Let's look at another video here. Let's see. So this one didn't do too well, but let me just check it out. Let me just look here. Yeah, this is great. He's already using trending audios, but the "they just know" tagline isn't really doing too well. I could be like, that one song from TikTok, here's how to play it on the piano. Let me see here. This feels like cheating. Am I getting away with it? Let's go. So this is participatory content, right? Not participatory, but this is almost utility content. What I mean by that is it's showing, right, but the person can't participate. So if we look at this video over here, let me see if I can find it again. I'm showing you, but you can also play along. You can also, move your head. This is for boxing. It's like move your head following the dot, right? So that so that you can practice your head movement. But if you see here with this video, I can just watch, because the only thing that I know now is, oh, this is how that song goes, but I can't really play it. Like, for example, if I'm walking down the street and I play that video, I can't necessarily train or practice. It's not really set up to, like, if I had to set it up, it would be just this game screen and then like way less notes. And I know all the notes are part of the track, of course. But the idea is, in order to make good gamified content that basically gets more leads, gets people in the door, it needs to be a lot more simple. It needs to be much more simple than it already is. And obviously with piano, it's not a simple thing. It's a very complex thing. But maybe if he just showed the 3 rows here, like here's the 3 key notes from that Godfather song or something, just to simplify a little bit, and then add a score counter, 0 out of 10 or 0 out of 5 or et cetera, or add a lose condition. He could easily, like, this video could easily get, because he's using like the Godfather, like one of like the OG like goated songs with piano. Like, he's using already a popular sound, a trending sound, so he's already up there with that. But it's just little tweaks to content so it can satisfy and please the algorithm, so the algorithm can blow your content up and show a bunch of other people, and you can capture that market share. That's the only thing that a lot of gamified, and this includes Duolingo, by the way. Even Duolingo isn't doing gamified content to the best of its ability, and I purposely am not even going to contact them or hint them up or say, hey, this is what you guys could do, because they're doing piano or music theory or lessons. They're supposed to be doing language, but this guy is focused only on piano, so he should be blowing up. He should be absorbing the market share, because this app is perfect. This is great for learning piano. If I had a piano, this is exactly what I would get, right? But it's just a few little tweaks to his content to just satisfy the algorithm so it can blow his stuff up. Let's watch another video. We're going to do the lowest performing ones. Okay, so this one's kind of obvious. Stress, loneliness, job, school, burnout, overthinking, no focus, no energy, regret. Okay, so don't know how long the video is, but it's already been, I'm going to reasonably assume 4 or 5 seconds, and I'm not seeing the piano. Again, with content like this, the first thing the person sees, tagline. What is the app? What does it do? Who is it for? It's an app for beginners to show how to dodge punches. And we show them immediately. Like Mr. Beast, I don't know how much he spends. He spends probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours on thumbnail research, and the first 30 seconds of a video. Now, for short form, it could be the same thing. Maybe not the thumbnail per se, but you can spend more time. You can spend more time on the first 30 seconds, like researching the first 30 seconds. In this one, we've already gone several videos, and we haven't several seconds, and we haven't already seen what the app is about. So that's why most of this is high in scrollability. People are scrolling off. They might see the piano icon here at the bottom and might have something to do with piano, but it doesn't necessarily say that it's an app, right? Until we get to see, we're still going and we're hearing piano. But again, some people might not be listening with the audio, right? You might be walking down a busy street. You might not be able to hear too much. You might not have your headphones in, right? So you may only be depending on visual, right? People take for granted that we can hear and see your app, right? So its piano will be optimized for hearing. But if I'm just listening to the app, right? If I'm just playing, if I'm just listening, I'm not hearing about what the app does, who's it for, or anything. If you literally watch this video and you close your eyes, right?
You're a beginner. If you want to dodge automatically, if you want to move on instinct, if you're tired of being the punching bag in sparring, then this is for you. Use this before your next sparring session.
Okay, so even that could have been done better. We could have said, use this app before your next sparring session. Don't let a knockout be your wake-up call. It insinuates it's for boxers. If you're a beginner, we could have said beginner boxer. But it's insinuated when we say don't let a knockout. Who else gets knocked out? Boxers, fighters, who else gets knocked out? Not really anybody, right? So we let you know, the video lets you know from an audio, sonically perspective, who's it for, why they should download it, and warnings if you don't download it. If you don't get this, you're gonna get knocked out and be like, wow, I really should have learned how to dodge punches better. But again, with this video, you don't really hear anything about why, who, why, how, right? Now, another thing you should be showing, we haven't shown it ourselves yet, but testimonials. This person learned how to do the piano from in the first 3 months is what they've been be able to do, 4 months, 5 months, whatever. There should be like a collection of testimonials. I don't know if it's the exact same person. I'm trying to look at their hands to see if it's the exact same person posting content, but it should be, I went from this to this in 3 months. I went from this to this in 8 weeks. I went from this to this in my first week. Testimonials is another very powerful one. But again, interactive gamified content is the thing that differentiates you from the entire market. It's the thing that makes you one of one. It's a thing that once you start doing it, everyone else is going to copy you. Literally people, I'm not going to show who, but literally people have taken this video, this video, and they've literally copied it and they've used it to sell a course. Which again, by the way, they're professional fighters and everything. Like, it's not like they're not a scammer or anything, but they've literally seen this video, right? Copied it almost to a T, especially with the green dot and how it moves across the screen, how it moves across the circle. Copied it, gotten a few more, I think maybe like 7 or 8 more views, but they have way more followers than we do, and they use it to sell a course. So it's, once you do it first, everyone's following behind you, right? So you want to be the first one in your niche to do gamified interactive content, because if you don't, I guarantee you somebody else will. If you're doing a niche, it's saturated, it's this and that, this is how you differentiate yourself. You differentiate yourself by creating interactive, playable, gamified content that pulls people in, and then you pair it with, this is the gamified content, you pair it with marketing content, right? And like I said, you have a pattern, a ratio, and then you also pair it with utility content. So you display the app in a way that people can use and people can train. So if I were to use, let's say I had a piano, right? If I were to use this one, right, and I have my phone here, and this assume my keyboard is a piano, I should be able to put my phone down by my laptop, right, or by my piano, load up a video like this, and then just learn how to play, learn how to practice from the video alone. That's utility content. It's content that's it's literally a tool. It's not something you passively watch. It's interactive, but it's not gamified, right? So you go gamified, interactive, playable, score. It's a video game. This one is gotta switch it. This one is interactive, but it's not gamified. There's no score. There's no anything like that. It's like, this is a tool. Use it to practice. And then this one is the marketing. So it's not interactive at all. It's just pure marketing. But its power comes from being boosted by the gamified and by the the utility content, right? So with this one, I wouldn't have the piano or the hands in the way. I would just literally show the screen. I would literally just show this and then have my piano. Now it starts off way too fast. It should be like, hey, have you heard this song? Want to play it? Practice it. Check it out. Right. And then I would slowly have the notes starting to descend. I don't know if you can slow down or speed up the notes, because from what I saw earlier is that you click the piano and click the button on the piano, and then it progresses forward if you're using a real piano. But if you're just watching the video, then you can't make it pause from when you hit it. So there's workarounds on this. It's not a lost cause or anything like that. But all I'm saying is, like, with something like this, it has potential to just has potential to blow up like crazy. But just the creator just has to just know a few more things about gamified content. And even when they do, they don't even have to make the content. They could just hire UGC content creators. They could who could also learn gamified content, and then it could blow them up, right? They could do the blowing up. The creator themselves doesn't even have to post as much as they're posting. I don't know what their schedule looks like, but it seems like they have enough time to post on a consistent basis. But by 5xing the amount of content that they post on a daily basis, and playing with interactive gamified content, playing with that as schedule. So gamified utility marketing, gamified utility, gamified marketing, kind of playing around with that. That's just how they could, blow up and go beyond like anything that, I mean, I don't know. I don't know who else is competing with them in this space, besides Duolingo, but that's just, that's not even competing, because they're a language app. They're just trying to add on other stuff. I think they even do chess. But as far as someone who's specifically devoted, his only purpose is to do gamified, is to teach piano through a game or through an app. Yeah, he's got it with this one. He's got it with this one. All he has to do is just post a little bit more. So anyways, I don't want to be talking in circles. There's a lot more that goes into it. There's so much more that goes into it. I just want to do a quick 2-part series on how someone could create gamified content and how they can use it to essentially blow up, right? So that's all I had to say on this video. We're wrapping it up here. It's almost about it's 38 minutes. If anybody has any questions on this video, just let me know in the comment section. If you see any other apps that are in the learning space and you want to review, or if you have an app in the learning space you want me to do a free review, completely free, just like this. It might not take as long. Maybe you have more content. Maybe you have less. The less content you have, the shorter the review will be, obviously. But if you have any content like this, just drop it in the comment section. Just say audit, or just send a link. If this goes on YouTube, just send a link, or DM on Instagram directly, and then we'll have a chat about it. But yeah, that's basically all I had for this video. This is a 2-part video. So if you're only watching the second part, you can watch the first part to get an idea of the DNA of gamified content and like the sequences of videos you should be posting. But this is more of like a direct review on like how to apply gamified content to an app that is compatible with it, right? So that's all I have to say for this video. I'll leave some links in the description below. Maybe I'll make another Notion document or something to make it a little bit easier, but we'll see. I've just been starting to do this review of this gamified content review series, or the social media audit series, but we'll see where the wind takes us on this. But other than that, thank you guys for watching the video. Hope this helps. Send this to anybody who needs help. If they have a playable game, gamified learning app, anything like that, mainly consumer mobile apps, Android or Apple, doesn't matter. Prefer to do iOS, prefer to do Apple. And yeah, I'll be happy to do a free social media audit and then see what I can do for anybody who's interested. So yeah, let me know. And thank you guys for watching the video. Catch you out. Peace.